How long you think? I don't know how to aim this. No, you're telling me his head is not exposed when he does the save? Somebody's to my right, but fuck it. I really hope they don't spot me to the right or something. Oh my god, dude. We actually hit that. I missed the first though. There's no bullet drop, dude. That's how you fucking finish it, dude. Holy shit. I did not expect to see somebody there and to fucking get the kill, dude. Poor fucking guy, dude. Oh no, dude. Oh, I can't believe it, dude. He died while looting intelligence, dude. Oh no. In today's video, I will teach you everything you need to know to complete the quest Shooter Born in Heaven. I know a lot of people find this quest really hard, but honestly, with the tips I'm gonna give you, you will get it done eventually. I would say it's more of a time-consuming quest, but if you follow this guide, you will get a lot of opportunities to get the 100 plus kills. I will also go through the best weapons and bullets to use, going from budget to best, and I will give you some great spots on each map that always gave me a Shooter Born in Heaven kill potential. And on top of that, I will also give you some extra tips. If that sounds interesting, then let's get started. Before we get into the guns, ammo and map spots, I want to talk about a few things that I find important for completing Shooter Born in Heaven easily. You want to try to unlock Shooter Born in Heaven as early as possible, especially if you're gonna go for Kappa, since a lot of the kills here you can actually just get naturally while playing. The quest itself will unlock after you complete the quest Farming Part 3, that you will get from Mechanic. So hopefully you did that, so you have a few kills done already. When it comes to the actual raids, I would definitely recommend to try to do fast raids. Most of the spots I will show you will be the most effective in the start of the raid until like 15 or 20 minutes have passed. Sitting 40 to 50 minutes in a raid is definitely nothing I would recommend, since most of the PMCs have left the raid in the first 20 minutes. So do fast raids, I would say max 20 minutes, especially if it's quiet. Then I think it's just better to reset and go again. My raids was usually around 10 to 15 minutes long. I know from the last wipe to this wipe I had a way easier time with the quest, since I know the map and the flow much better. So just as everything in Tarkov, the more knowledge and experience you have, the easier it gets. Because you know the spawns and you can predict much easier where people will be at, making it easy to set up. I think it's also important to be patient with this quest, but not too patient. So many times I was a little bit too patient and just waiting for the perfect moment to shoot, but it never happened, so I missed a few opportunities because of it. So sometimes it might be better to just press the trigger instead of waiting for that super perfect moment that might not even happen. With that said though, if you have a hard time hitting headshots, you can do it like I did here. Just hit them in the legs, and even if they are running and have painkillers on, every time you hit them, they will lose quite a lot of energy, so they will most likely be a sitting duck after you hit a few shots, making the headshots of course way easier. With all that said though, let's talk about the guns that I would recommend for a Shooter Born in Heaven quest. Something that can actually work extremely well are the grenade launchers that are mounted on customs and reserve. Because if you kill somebody with a mounted grenade launcher or even a grenade, it will always be a headshot kill. So if you can get a 100-meter kill with those, it would count for Shooter Born in Heaven. On customs, you can find this one in Reshala Stronghold, and you can shoot it to dorms, and a lot of times there are people there. So if you're lucky, and especially if you heard them fighting there, just try to spam the grenade launcher there and hope for the best. On reserve, you do have a few as well. In particular, this one right here, where you can try to kill people that are up on the dome. I never actually got a kill like this though, but I thought it was at least worth to mention. When it comes to normal weapons, I would definitely not recommend a sniper, but what I would recommend is an assault rifle. Yes, some of the assault rifles and ammo have the fastest bullet velocity in Tarkov, meaning you will get the least amount of bullet drop and bullet lead, And on top of that, it of course shoots way faster than a bolt action sniper, giving you more opportunity to land that headshot. When it comes to assault rifles, there are two weapons that I used in both wipes for this, and it's the ADAR and also the AK-101. I guess the ADAR was pretty obvious, but did you guys know that the AK-101 have the fastest bullet velocity in Escape from Tarkov? Combine the AK-101 with M995 and you will have a bullet velocity at a whopping 1043 meters per second, and the base being 986 without any ammo, which is just insane. So with that said, let's take a look at the AK-101 and the modding first, and later we will check the ADAR as well. You could of course run a M4 as well instead of ADAR, since it uses the same caliber, but it will of course be a little bit more expensive. So starting with the AK-101, I'm gonna show you the cheapest way you can run it up to best. Okay, so we take a look here at the AK-101. This is one of the versions I would play as a pretty budget version of the gun. When it comes to the scope, you can of course use whatever scope you like. I personally like the Voodoo, or I like to run the Valde. You can choose whatever you like there, but definitely I would recommend those two scopes. Other than that, I haven't done much with the gun. I put on this CAA handguard, put on an RBG grip just because it's pretty cheap and give decent stats, and then I went with a silencer as well, because I think when you're doing shooter born in heaven, it's really good to have a silencer, since you're gonna be pretty far away and it will be really hard for them to locate you when you shoot. So I went with the CAC silencer here. You can go with whatever silencer you have, it doesn't really matter too much. So the price for this one would be 141k. Like, it's really hard to make this cheap, because the sight will go for 40-50k usually if you run Voodoo or Valde, and then the silencer as well will usually go for like 30-40k as well, so keep that in mind. And then on top of that, the gun itself usually can be pretty expensive. It looks like we got the gun pretty cheap here though, but yeah, 140k for that one. So that was my budget version. I went, if I wanted to go best in slot basically, I would run something like this. Of course, RK2 I would not recommend, but if you want to have the lowest recoil possible, that is a really good option. I would definitely recommend Shift though, just so you can ADS longer. So yeah, you basically D-ball, we have a PK06 canted, Troy combo, the blackout silencer right now, PT3 stock, US Palm, which is the same as RK3, and yeah, even RP1. But this one costs quite a lot. Take a look here. 300k. I'm pretty sure you can get it a little bit cheaper though, but yeah, this is around 300k, which is quite a lot for this gun. If we take another look at the gun as well, for the lowest recoil possible, if you guys are interested, I believe this should be it. It was a long time ago I made it though, but this would be it. 41 ergo and 46 recoil, and the price for that one would be 280k. As I guess the downside with this gun is that the MOA is 1.53, but I have checked a video before, and I mean, if you're not super far away, it should still be really accurate. But still, like 153 MOA, you shouldn't have to worry about it. If you're sniping at like 200 to 500 meters, that's probably when you're gonna feel it though. But I mean, at 100 meters, you shouldn't really notice it at all. If we take a look at the ADAR, this is the version I would run. This is like the super budget version, which only equip a Valde, I equip a silencer. In this case, we're using Ultra. You could of course use the CAC silencer like I did with the other one. That would most likely be the cheaper option. Or you could use the blackout one as well. Whatever silencer you have, just put it on. I don't think it matters too much. And that's basically it with this gun. We have the 406 barrel here. Should be really cheap to get this one. This one have 2.46 MOA, which is definitely not the best. The ergo's really bad without the mag, and 65 recoil. But this is a really cheap option if you want to do it. We do take a look at a way more modded ADAR. I mean, it basically looks like an M4, and I feel like if you're modding it this much like I did here, then you might as well play M4. But I'm gonna talk about some key points that you could change from the other ADAR. So this one have 40 ergo, 43 vertical, even with a 40 rounder. So that's pretty good. But you can see that the MOA is way better here. And that's because we swapped the barrel to a 20-incher. On the other one, we have 406. So the barrel size is the big thing to upgrade. And yeah, I mean, if we check quick how much this one costs, I think it's going to be really expensive. So 280k, I mean, mainly the silencer here. If we would swap the silencer, we can go the CAC one. Hopefully that one is cheap. The color. So now we're at 234k, which is way more affordable price. And I guess we have the Jeep here as well. You can just use an MK12. There's a lot of things here you could downgrade. Like, you don't need a good pistol grip. You can, of course, just play like normal 30 rounders. And you will be good to go. The key to these builds are just have a good scope like Valde. And have a silencer. That's all you really need. Like, if you actually prone, which you can do a lot of times, you don't have to worry about your PMC getting tired when it scopes in. Like, that's a really good tip as well. If you have spots where you can use prone, try to do that. Sure, it will be an easy target, but you can be zoomed in for super long. And obviously the advanced stock carry you can swap to a CST if you don't have access to advanced tube there, because you need to be level 40, otherwise you're gonna pay a lot for it. Take a look now. 170k. No, that was not true. 222k. Pretty good option here. But of course, like, you can do it however you want here. Like, as long as you have Valde, try to get the 20-inch barrel for ADAR, and you're pretty much good to go. Because the thing is with ADAR, if you put in too much money, you might as well go M4, right? So I wouldn't go this heavily on the modding. The 20-inch barrel, Valde, CAC silencer, a grip of your choice, and you should be really good to go. Because, I mean, you don't need to have low recoil when you're going to be tapping. But that covers the ADAR and also the AK-101, which I think are the best guns to use for Shooter Born in Heaven. Okay, so now I have the guns and the loadouts ready. So let's cover the most important thing for Shooter Born in Heaven, and that is, of course, the maps. There's definitely gonna be more spots that you can use for this. I will just give you the ones that I found to be the most effective for myself. And also, I guess, add in a few more on top of that. Okay, so for the maps here, we're gonna use mapgenie.io, which is definitely a website I do recommend. I did even pay for this one because I want to support it, and it's just a really good site for the maps. So we're gonna hide everything here, and we're gonna enable spawn points. So when it comes to customs, my favorite spot is from Crack House, which is this building right here, and to Reshala's stronghold, which is right there. So the distance from both buildings are around 100 meters. So what I like to do if I get the spawn around warehouse right here, I usually run to the stronghold and I sit up here on the second floor and I peek all the way to the Crack House and look for the windows or the doors. Usually most of the time people will loot the Crack House. So just getting that spawn and sitting there is really good. Of course, you can do this on the reverse way if you spawn around here and you would run all the way to Crack House and then peek the stronghold. In my experience though, I don't usually find as many people that way. So if you spawn around the all gas, I would definitely run that way. What I did notice a lot of the matches though is that people moved super slow to Crack House. So a lot of times I think I even spawned all the way back here and all the gas station right here. I would just run all the way from those spawns all the way to roadblock, and I would go right here and go up on this little hut here, and I would prone down and I would take a look across the bridge here. Because a lot of people, especially earlier in the wipe, it's only 1 month in, they will farm Big Red, which is located right here. So if you're sitting here and you get here super fast, especially with the old gas station spawn, you have a really high chance to even catch these guys that spawn all the way down there if they are not super fast. So a lot of times with this spot, I would spot people running around here on the bridge and also people that run here. But the important part is here, I got a lot of kills around this mark right here, and that is not 100 meters. They need to be on the grass for it to be 100 meters. So preferably you want to hit them right here. My last kill on customs were from this spot, as I showed you right here, and all the way to Big Red, and he was actually looting while I killed him. So I think those spots are perfect when you spawn on that side. Of course, if you spawn here, you can also run across here and try to peek up here. That's nothing I did though, but you can run here, peek to the woods there. You can also sit here and peek up here in the hill and also to the gas station. But I don't think that spot is as good as the ones as I just showed you. If you spawn on this side right here, you can of course just do the same thing here, rush crack house and hold the stronghold. Or if you have the spawns here, you can just go all the way across the bridge and just try to hold the people off that are gonna pass here that spawn way further back. Or if they go for big red, you can sit and hold there. What I did on the first wipe though was to sit in the hut that's right here and then peek people coming to extract here. I did find people though, but I did not feel like it was a good strat. I think crack house one here and these one right here are the ones that I found the most effective. So that's basically the best spots for Shooter Born in Heaven on customs in my opinion. So we take the next map here, which is Shoreline. You can get a lot of these kills naturally because you will have a lot of engagements that are 100 meter and even further away. But my preferred location here is actually around, if you take a look here, you can see it around this spot right here. So in a perfect world, I would get a spawn around tunnel. I would run all the way and just sit on this hill. And I would try to look for people passing on the bridge here, which is one of the spots where it's super likely for you to find people. So if you stay around here, you can have a look here. If you see that there's scavs here, perfect. Then you can just focus more on another position. You also want to look at power, which is really common spot for people to go to. Have a look if there's any scavs there. If there are scavs there, that's really good because then you don't have to pay too much attention to it, because if people get there, they will kill the scavs and you will most likely hear it. So that's power, pair, and the gas station covered. And even if people are fighting around cottage, you will hear that as well. So literally, you just want to pay attention to the gas station, pair, power station, and cottage. And try to have the scavs as guards. Just be around here, and as soon as you hear somebody shoot, you just try to react to it. Me personally, I had the most focus around the pier bridge around here, since that is where it's most likely to find people. But if you stay around here, you will easily get so many opportunities. You can even hear people that shoot the scavs at Scav Island right here, which is pretty damn common. Because I was sitting around here and I heard somebody shooting there. I just went there and I got a free kill on him looting a scav. So Shoreline is definitely one of the easiest one, if not the easiest one, in my opinion. I think it's also worth to note, if you learn the spawns here, you can get some opportunities just from the spawns. If you spawn close to power, you could just instantly go up to power and try to peek the people coming from here and maybe here if they're moving to resort, and even the guy that spawned around the tower here. Because most people, or at least a lot of people, will go to resort. Maybe the other half will go to like gas station and pier. So if you just try to hold them off, I'm pretty sure you will get an opportunity. Same thing here. If you spawn here and you don't want to go resort and you want to focus on Shooter Born in Heaven, you can set up around here on the hill and you will see all those guys coming from there when they're gonna hit the resort. But I think that's Shoreline, one of the easier maps in my opinion to get the 100 meter shot opportunities. Then we have the third map here, which is gonna be woods, and this map might even be easier than Shoreline because this one also has so many natural spots when it comes to 100 meter headshots. So they did recently add a map extension to this map, and luckily Map Genie have updated their map here. So even though we have the map extension here, I'm gonna focus on the old area, since personally I don't really go to the new area, and I think it's just a way easier way to get it on the old area. So I'm gonna zoom the map in here so we can focus on that. So in my opinion, the best area where you will find most people, and usually like all the time, is the sawmill, which is right around here, right? So some good spots that I would recommend is the sniper hill right here, which is super obvious spot of course, but you get a lot of, but you can see so many people from that hill. Also being on this hill right here, super obvious spot, but you can see so much around the map. Also just being around here with the tree line is pretty good as well. And if you want to try to bait people here, you can bring a SVD. Either you use it for Shooter Born in Heaven, or you just insure it. You go to sawmill, you shoot 3 bullets really fast in a burst, and then you just drop it and insurance fraud it, and people will most likely get here because they will think that you're Sturman. So that can be a good way to get people there if you can't see them. This hill right here is pretty decent too. Like usually if you just be around here, you can just spot people pretty easy. And of course you can also use the hill right here, but I feel like it's so long range and it might be really hard to hit the shots. This hill right here also works. And I guess another spot that is definitely worth to mention is that the new camp that they added around here. I don't know if you can see it on the map actually. But they added a new camp around here, which have a lot of good loot. So usually like peeking that from the forest or just being in the camp and peeking outside here, you get a lot of opportunities as well. Honestly, this map is just filled of spots where you can find 100-meter headshot kills. We take a look here. Usually people like to be around scav house to farm scavs. So like you can be sitting up here in that hill as well. That hill, like just around this area is pretty common to find people. And also around here, which is the checkpoint. Like literally anywhere I pick, literally anywhere I choose on the map, you will be able to get opportunities. But I would definitely recommend Sawmill and definitely that camp. So I'm pretty sure this is probably the one you will struggle with the least, especially since you do have more quests on woods. For example, killing 3 PMCs in one raid, and I mean a lot of times you just get like 3 of those kills 100 meters away. Then we have Reserve, which is one of the maps that I don't personally play a lot myself, but I did actually finish this one quite easily. So there is a lot of opportunities here as well when it comes to 100-meter kills. So I'm gonna just go through the ones that I use the most, and actually all of my kills came from the dome. So I was just sitting up the dome sniping, and my number one spot I would look at would be the drop down room that have a lot of GPUs and Tetris. And people love to go into that room. So as long as you get up to dome quickly and you scout this room, you will spot a lot of people. Something that is also quite common on Reserve is that people go with no backpack, hatchlings and all that. You're just gonna go in and grab some quick loot and then extract. And where do they extract? They extract at the sewer manhole where you don't need a backpack. So if you sit up here, you can actually snipe to the sewer manhole, and that is 100 meters range as well. So that's an easy way to get a kill. Most people won't extract there though, but if you find the people that do, there will usually be a sitting duck there for the extraction, and you can easily tap them to the head. So those were my 2 go-to spots to look at, but obviously when you're sitting up dome, you will see a lot of people on the map. So you just try to cover as many spots as possible, but specifically in the early game of the raid, focus on the drop down. Other than that, when you spawn in, you will get a lot of opportunities as well. If you spawn around this spawn, for example, you will have people spawning around like heating pipe and all that, and they will try to rush this building. So if you get this spawn right here, you can just peek those guys when they try to run into the building, and that will be 100 meters. Also, if people spawn here and you spawn here, that will be 100-meter distance as well. And of course, if you look at other spawns as well, you can have that happen here too. Since I don't play Reserve too much, I don't know the spawns that well, but definitely you can get some pretty quick opportunities when you just spawn in. Something I did talk about earlier was that there are grenade launchers in the game. So you can find one in this spawn, and you can actually hit all the way up to dome with that one. So if you wait a few minutes and you hope that the people that spawn close to dome go up there, you can use the grenade launcher and try to hit the dome. And if you hit the shots, you will get a shooter born in heaven kill. Other than that, you can also sit in the sniper towers. I did not do that, but I did fight the guy that did that. So I think he was sitting on, I think it was this one, and he was actually on top of that one. I'm not sure how I did that, but that would also give you opportunity. I know I did recommend dome, and that's probably one of the most obvious spots that most people will try to get shooter born in heaven, or you sit up there and snipe. So if you don't have a good spawn, and if you don't want to go up there, keep your eyes on that spot, because there's a lot of times there's going to be people sniping there. So as long as you keep like 100 meters away from that spot, then you can just try to snipe them back, and they will usually be sitting ducks, and it should be quite an easy kill. But that is Reserve, and that is all the maps that you need to know to complete Shooter Born in Heaven in this wipe. However though, last wipe we did have Interchange as a map, and I know a lot of people struggle with that one. So I thought I would just quickly go through some of the spots that are worth to use for this. So the spot that I would definitely recommend that made my life so much easier is Tech Light. So on Ollie here on 2nd floor, I believe it's here, you have the Tech Light store. So that is a super high populated area. So try to get there ASAP as you can, either on this side or if you go up on this side and then just peek the direction. Preferably you want to be on this side so you can peek take light, but being on this side, you can definitely peek that side too because it's such a high populated area. And that's where I got most of my kills. And you will get multiple opportunities because people really love to go to take light. Other than that, you will of course get a lot of opportunities when people try to run into interchange in the spawns. Like somebody spawns here or here. You spawn here, you can just go here and just hold the peak when they come here. Same with the other spawns. Pretty simple. Also power station, you can just sit there and wait for people to come. And yeah, you get the point. I just thought I would add those two in case they would add interchange. I think the Tech Light one is just a game changer for Shooter Born in Heaven on interchange. Anyway, that's gonna be it for this Shooter Born in Heaven guide. I hope you guys found this video useful. And if you have any questions, just put them down in the comment section below and I will try to answer them all. If you are interested in more videos like this, then make sure you hit that subscribe button, since I have a lot of Escape from Tarkov videos planned in the future. I also do stream Tarkov daily on twitch.tv/widdz, so you could always come to the stream and ask any related Tarkov questions. With that said though, I catch you guys in the next video or on the next stream.